In the news, Ondo State government activates surveillance system to combat cholera outbreak. ODSG inaugurates Sunshine Youth Agricultural Association to boost food production. Youth occupy Rivers Local Government Secretariat over chairman's tenure extension. On the foreign scene, Saudi authorities halt stone throwing ritual due to extreme heat. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on Osrc television. I am Oyewumi Ayinibera. The Ondo State government has announced the activation of a surveillance system and emergency preparedness committee to respond to any cholera cases in the state. This move comes as the state continues to monitor the spread of the disease, which has affected several parts. Meanwhile, the Lagos State government said laboratory tests carried out on samples have confirmed that the outbreak is due to cholera and the identified strain is highly aggressive and contagious. The Commissioner for Health, Professor Akian Bayomi, while giving an update on the cholera outbreak in the state, noted that through community-based case finding and contact tracing, the number of cases has peaked and is now declining. He, however, disclosed that there are 17 confirmed cases out of 350 suspected cases and 15 deaths so far. According to Professor Abayomi, the state is intensifying its public health campaigns in light of the Salah celebration and the associated transmission risk from gatherings and catering services to prevent resurgence. And following the outbreak of cholera in Lagos and some states, the United Nations Children's Fund has called for extensive measures to protect school children. The UN organization also called for concerted efforts to prevent disruption in the academic calendar over the spread of the disease. The chief of UNICEF Lagos Field Office, Selin Nafos, in a statement said that the cholera outbreaks critically affected children and the young population. According to Lafort, these vulnerable groups face substantial health risks, particularly children and young adults attending schools, noting that children were prone to severe dehydration and high mortality rate. Lafort said there was an urgent need for good sanitation, hygiene practices, improved access to clean water, regular hand washing with soap and clean water in order to combat the outbreak in schools. She solicited for adequate awareness across the country to sensitize the populace on cholera outbreaks and preventive measures as part of efforts to address the issue. Now away from health, the Ondo State government has inaugurated a group of youth involved in different value chains of agriculture in the state, Sunshine Youth Agricultural Empowerment Association, ASYAEA. Commissioner for Agriculture and Forestry, Olayato Aribo, lauded the youth for going into agriculture at a time many of their peers are involved in different vices. Zaid Aribisala reports that chairman of the Sunshine Youth Agricultural Empowerment Association, Femi Eniola, is poised to give youth involved in agriculture a voice.
Youths in Nigeria account for about 70% of the country's population, with their involvement in agriculture undoubtedly key towards food production and security. The need to harness this potential and revolutionize food production in Nigeria, particularly in Ondo State, gave rise to Sunshine Youth Agricultural Empowerment Association. The official inauguration of the association was done by the Ondo State Commissioner for Agric and Forestry, Olayato Aribo.
The benefit of the people of this state. Amen. And for the use of humanity. Amen.
Chairman of the association, Mr. Femi Eniola, said the group is committed towards championing youth inclusion in agric matters for meaningful results.
We are not here today to pose a threat or to act as if we do not know that there are other associations who are also involved in agricultural activity in the state. But we felt like our voice are not being heard, and we felt that most of our farmers who genuinely needed support from government are not being listened to because of the fact that there is no platform for that. So it became very necessary for us to come together under one umbrella for us to meet with the ministry.
Eniola said the Sunshine Youth Agricultural Empowerment Association will implement strategies for food production and sufficiency to put the state on the map of leading food producers in the country.
We are happy today that this is happening, and we want to assure you all that we are going to do what is right. We are not going to constitute any form of nuisance in the state.
The Agriculture and Forestry Commissioner, Aribo, while acknowledging the relevance of Sunshine Youth Agricultural Empowerment Association to the vision of Ondo State government, identified the huge gap between the old farmers and the current generation as a bane to Nigeria's food sufficiency. Aribo urged the youth to keep flag flying in their different chosen area of agricultural value chain and assure them of government intervention.
That were acquired by government before that they be used for one project or the other. We still approach those communities and still do it together. But when we are together, we can introduce technology. If you are together, you can introduce technology. When you start to introduce technology, you can make it more attractive.
Sunshine Youth Agricultural Empowerment Association is a group of young Nigerians who are striving to make positive impacts across different agricultural value chains. Zaid Aribisala, Osrc News.
All Progressives Congress candidates in the 2023 Abia State House of Assembly election have called on President Bola Tinubu to wade into the crisis and put an end to the factionalization of the party in the state. This came as the only elected APC lawmaker in the State House of Assembly, Mr. Adamson Akilero, led the other candidates on a reconciliation mission to Abuja. In a communique tagged Abia APC Crisis Peace Initiative, Akilero called on the national leadership of the party to, as a matter of urgency, convene a meeting and invite all leaders and stakeholders of the party to seek an end to the impasse. The meeting, is said, should include the Southeast Zonal Caucus, Abuja-based party gladiators, key stakeholders, the 2023 APC candidates to the Abia House of Assembly, Federal House of Representatives, and Senate. The communique also called on the party leadership to commit to ensuring that all interest groups are duly represented in the state, local government areas, and ward party positions. And youth in the 3 local government areas of the Kalabari ethnic group have demanded the vacation of the council chairman from office. The local government areas are Degema, Asari Toru, and Akoko Toru. Reports say some of the youth mobilized to block the entrance to the council complexes and requested traders within the premises to leave. Meanwhile, a former Niger Delta agitator Asari Dokubo, who is from the ethnic group, is advising the elected chairman of the 23 local government areas in River State to quietly leave office by midnight today as their 3-year tenure expires. He said despite arguments from the chairman, they must leave office to avoid creating fundamental problems in the state. You're still watching Osrc News at 7. After the break, Saudi authorities halt stone throwing ritual due to extreme heat. Please to join us after the break. Thank you very much for rejoining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. The lawmaker representing Akoko North West and Akoko North East Federal Constituency at the House of Representatives, Mr. Ife Eyindero, has launched the Ibidero Delivery Initiative. The event, which was held at Akoko in Akoko Northwest local government area of the state, also featured distribution of health facilities to some basic health centers in the constituency, distribution of free delivery kits to pregnant women, bursary award, among others. OSRC covered the event, and a report is presented from our studios.
It was a joyous atmosphere as constituents trooped out to receive their lawmaker, Mr. Eyindero, who marked 100 days in office as a federal lawmaker. Ife Eyindero was elected in the February by-election to fill the vacant seat of the Minister of Interior, Bumi Tunjojo, in the House of Representatives, having been appointed by President Bola Tinubu to serve in the Federal Executive Council. The federal lawmaker, who assured people of Akoko Northwest, Northeast Federal Constituency of more dividends of democracy, reminded them of his watchword, which is effective representation.
The main purpose of this event is not only to mark 100 days in office or to distribute hospital equipment across the constituency, but for me especially is to say thank you to all of you for your support. Health is wealth. We promised that we are going to prioritize health, which was why we started by facilitating health equipment. We have shortage of this equipment in our health center, our primary health care center, and we have facilitated across the constituency.
He said he feels a sense of responsibility to alleviate the plight of the poor and the weak, despite the economic slump which is affecting everybody in the country, and promised to keep delivering on their mandates.
There has been promises I made, has been my guide for the past 100 days, that I will not fail you. I also want to use this opportunity to reassure you that going forward, I'll still continue to be guided by that promise, and I will still not fail you.
Ondo State Commissioner for Environment, Mr. Oyeniyi Oseni, and other stakeholders thanked the lawmaker for fulfilling the promises made to his constituency and encouraged him to do more, especially in the area of youth engagement.
We have to make sure Mr. President within the 100 days of Honorable Ifeoluwa Eyindero in the House of Representatives, wọ́n ti gbìyànjú láti tẹ̀síwájú iṣẹ́ ibi tí ọ̀gá wa Honorable Olúbùnmi Túnjí-Òjó tí ó ń ṣe.
Also, winners of the Ifeoluwa Eid Kabir 2024 Islamic Quiz were rewarded with cash prizes. Some of the beneficiaries appreciated the federal lawmaker for fulfilling his promises.
Just to appreciate Honorable Ife Eyindero for what God is doing now.
Business certificates were also issued to registered small business owners.
David Akinyemi School of Thought and Philosophical Engagement is an establishment working towards equipping young African scholars filled with young and employable, smart and well-read young minds to be logically and philosophically engaged with the world around them. This maiden edition in Ondo State engaged 14 public secondary and private schools in debate, essay writing and other activities including chess. The group's organizing secretary, Bright Jusuf, highlighted the competition's mission to empower students to excel academically and contribute meaningfully to the nation's development. Emphasizing its inaugural status, Yusuf underscored the organizers' commitment to making it a regular event, ensuring a continuous platform for students to hone their skills.
It is a trend among recent graduates that there's a level of discussion, a level of reasoning that it isn't acceptable in terms of interaction with people outside the country, for instance, or in intellectual spaces where you can't engage them intellectually. So we thought, okay, let's start with this. Let's see how they would approach it. Let's see how we can help them develop more knowledge about it, and how they themselves can suggest solutions to it.
Beyond the debate, the event featured a diverse of activities aimed at nurturing holistic development, from chess to thought-provoking essay competitions, where participants were engaged in various stimulating endeavors.
If we invest in the transmission lines that are resistant, it can lead to the 24-hour supply. And if we also improve the measuring system, it can also lead to 24-hour supply. So us focusing on the reduction of transmission and distribution losses can be the solution to efficient and sustainable power supply in Nigeria.
If transmission and distribution sector embrace renewable energy sources, this can also be transmitted to other power stations and distributed to homes and offices as well, instead of relying on our power supply.
If the government can collaborate with other companies, with other organizations, then we'll see that there will be a way in addressing the chronic power challenge we possess in Nigeria today.
Interactive sessions with accomplished young achievers provided invaluable insights into achieving purpose in life, while success stories from both local and international spheres served as inspiring narratives. The representative of Washaye Grammar School won the best debater, while a student from Aquinas College was declared the best essay writer, as the winners went home with 1 million naira scholarship fund each. Others too were honored with certificates of participation and various other awards. Omoriola Humbiji, Osrc News.
The coincidence of this year's Eid al-Kabir celebrations falling on Sunday, a day of worship for Christians, attests to the fact that God is one despite religious divisions. Sulaiman Abdul Hakim, the coordinating missionary for Ahmadiyya in Ondo State, explained that the lives of Christians and Muslims closely knitted through shared experiences and mutual respect of two branches of the roots of the same God. Tosin Adibowali has the rest of the story.
Mr. Suleiman Abdulhakim, the coordinating missionary for Ahmadiyya in Ondo State, emphasized the need to understand that Christians and Muslims serve the same God, and this understanding should foster unity in the society.
Abraham gave birth to two children from his progeny of Ishaq and then Ismail. You see, many religions spread from there, and then believing that all this religion leads back to God, leads back to that superhuman being that owns the universe, that creates us. So it shows us that we can all live in unity, because that's where we come from. We came from that one root, which has different branches. So we should know and understand that you being a Muslim doesn't mean you cannot live in peace with your neighbors who are not Muslims. Being Christian or Judaism or Jewish, and you being a Christian doesn't mean you cannot live well with your brothers. Because I think the second law in the Bible is that you should love your neighbor as you love yourself. And the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, also preaches that we should love for our neighbors what we love for ourselves. And you cannot be a Muslim or a believer without that.
A Christian faithful, Pastor Falaya Jobabatunde, maintained that Muslim festival of sacrifice falling on Sunday should not be seen as mere coincidence, but as a call for harmony in all fronts.
We can see that it has been destiny, or it has been mandated by God. But purpose of it is that we should know that we have one God and belong to this and belong to that. We are serving one God. We should love ourselves.
As long as adherents of the two religious faiths will continue to attest to the oneness of God, Eid-el-Kabir celebration on Sunday signify the importance of God as one. Tosin Adibo Ali, Osrc News.
Guaranteed Trust Bank has dropped no fewer than 60 top executives of 13 commercial banks to court as a pending suit between GT Bank and FX Community Exchange over 17 billion naira anchor borrowers program loan lingers. The 60 executives, including the chairman, chief executive officers, directors, and company secretaries of the 13 banks, are facing contempt proceedings for allegedly failing to implement a no-debit order reportedly placed on the account of FX Community Exchange with the banks. In suit involving Guaranteed Trust Bank Limited and FX Community Exchange Limited, the Federal High Court, Lagos Division, presided by Justice C.J. Aneke, signed an order for the bank chairman, MDs, directors, company secretaries, and the Nigerian Deposits Insurance Corporation to be committed to jail for failing to obey its May 27, 2024 ruling. The matter was adjourned till next Thursday. Parties cited for contempt include Access Bank, Citibank, Jay's Bank, Union Bank, Fidelity Bank, First Bank of Nigeria PLC, First City Monument Bank, NDIC, Liquidator for Heritage Bank, Polaris Bank, Stanbic IBTC Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, Taj Bank, United Bank for Africa, and Zenith Bank alongside its principal officers. In the court ruling dated May 27, 2024, 20 banks were directed to transfer money standing to the credit of the respondent into the FX bank account with GTB until the 17.81 billion naira is repaid. The Minister of Aviation, Festus Keyamo, has reviewed plans by the United Arab Emirates UAE government to lift the visa ban imposed on Nigerian travelers soon. Keyamo noted that the resolution has been reached between President Bola Tinubu and UAE President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan during Tinubu's visit to the UAE in September 2023. According to him, although the UAE had initially listed additional processes to be met before the ban could be officially lifted, the Nigerian government has since completed all processes, paving the way for an imminent announcement from the UAE government. The lifting of the ban is expected to restore ease of travel for Nigerian citizens to the UAE, thereby enhancing bilateral relations and cooperation between the two countries. The Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah today stopped pilgrims from proceeding to the Jamarat Bridge for the ritual of throwing stones for 5 hours due to extreme heat. The Saudi Ministry of Hajj and Umrah Dr. Abdul Fattah bin Salman, in a statement in Mina, Makkah, Saudi Arabia, stated that the measures became necessary to ensure the well-being of pilgrims amidst high temperatures and to prevent heat stress. Security personnel were also stationed at camps to enforce the restriction and prevent any pilgrim from departing before 4 p.m. He urged the Office of Hajj Affairs and Service Providers to ensure compliance, adding that they would be held responsible for any violations thereof. The Jamarates are 3 pillars located in Makkah and are an important part of the Hajj pilgrim for Muslims. The stoning of the devil or throwing pebbles is a way for Muslims to reject temptation after affirm their faith in Allah and honor the Prophet Ibrahim. Over 1.83 million pilgrims performed this year's Hajj. Chairman on the State Radio Vision Corporation, Kunle Adebayo, has committed to championing the popularization of golf for Nigerians to harness its benefits. Mr. Adebayo gave the commitment while playing host to members of Cross Creek Golf Club at the media outfit headquarters in Akure. Osrc Said Arabisala reports that the golfers sought collaborations towards propagating the benefits of the elite sports ahead the club's second captain's inaugural tournament.
Members of the Cross Creek Golf Club, located in Ilado, are on a courtesy visit to the headquarters of Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation in Akure, led by the club's captain, Isaac Shedowo. The team's visit is premised on seeking collaboration with the state media outfit for the popularization of the game of golf and its benefit.
To see the advantage, the economic benefits that golf can bring to our society. Some people see the game as an elite game. No, the game is for everybody. In fact, that is what we call social capital, whereby you networking.
Also discussed is the second edition of Captain's inaugural competition to usher in the new executives of the club, and this, they say, will attract golfers from across Nigeria.
We are going to have a Captain inaugural competition on May 18, and I can assure you, most of the hotel, almost all the hotels in the state have been fully booked because people are coming from all over the country and from some people from outside the country.
Chairman Planning Committee Ayodele Akonde said the tourney will boost the economy of the state, describing golf as a mirror that exposes individuals to better understand their own self.
Golf is a game of life, and that's the game you play that will tell you about yourself, your character to show. And it's a game that you can play it alone. You don't need to compete. You are not competing against anybody. You are competing against the cause.
Chairman Ondo State Radio Vision Corporation, Kunle Adebayo, himself a golfer, highlighted the importance of sports development to societal advancement.
I have found the game of golf very enthralling, and it's a game that develops the mind. Particularly young people can also join, and so that the process of developing the best minds for utmost development of our country can begin. I think the media has a huge role to play to popularize the game and help those who are playing it to preach the message of golf to the public.
Mr. Adebayo assured of the media outfit's readiness to provide avenues for the golfers to share more perspectives on the game and support the club's aspirations.
We are going to provide every support that is possible. From time to time, we'll be inviting members of this club to come and talk about the club, it's a lot of privilege also. Talk about the club, talk about personal development, talk about your profession, talk about many things.
Some of the golfers, including the Controller, Central Bank of Nigeria, Akure office, Mr. Ademola, spoke on the health and social implication of participating in the game as integral to a balanced lifestyle.
It's a form of exercising to maintain fitness, and not only that, we have to balance everything. That it's not everything, we just walk, and because what we know.
The visiting party as a demonstration of their appreciation and to spur staff members towards joining the sport, presented golf items like ball and tiller to the corporation. The golfers believe with more awareness, many Nigerians, regardless of age or gender, will key into the sport. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
And with that, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, another look at some of the major stories. We told you that the Ondo State government has activated a surveillance system and emergency preparedness committee to combat potential cholera cases in the state. And we also told you that youth in the 3 local government areas of the Kalabari ethnic group of River State have demanded the vacation of the council chairman from office. The youth, who blocked the entrance of the council secretariat, said the chairman's tenure was already due. That's the news tonight. Thank you very much for your time. Do enjoy the rest of your holiday.